What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandisa Mkiti for those of you that do not know, and today I am back with another video. So on today's video, some of you guys have been asking me to do a brow tutorial. When are you going to teach us how to do brows? Teach me how to do my brows. So I decided that let me try something like that. I've never, I think, actually done a proper tutorial before, so I'm really just going to show you how I do my brows and some of the tips and tricks that you can use to help you do your own brows. And guys, this is some people that will watch this and probably think, I could have done this differently. To each their own. To each their own. So I'm just going to show you what I do, and you can take these tips, use it, don't use it, it's okay. It's okay. So I'm just going to show you what I use for my brows, and I think what I use are really like the most basic items that you would use for brows. And yeah, if you don't have those, I'd suggest that you try and make a plan to get a hold of them. I almost said I've lost my tweezers. Okay, so the main three items that I use are tweezers, but this is mainly just to shape my brows. So I don't use, but again, a razor to sort of shape my brows. I use tweezers, so I pluck out what I think is not necessary. I use a spoolie brush. Focusing, no? And then I use a brow pencil. I use black. Okay, this one is very tiny, and this is like my favorite one. And then I've got this other bigger one, longer one. And then with that, you can use either a brown or black. I know some people prefer a brown one instead of black. I prefer black because sometimes I also don't have like a very heavy hand in terms of applying. And then I also use concealer, and a concealer like a brush, flat-ish brush. Well, not flat-ish, but I'm trying to find, there's another brow kit thing, that I sometimes use. I got this ages ago. I think I got it at Clicks. It's a brow kit. I think, let me just open it for you. Woohoo! You see, it's falling out also. But this is what it looks like. Okay, the other bits are like really falling out. So there's two shades. There's a darker shade this side, which is what I would sometimes use, and then there's a lighter shade on this side. It's got like a eyeshadowish sort of look to it. So it's like a powder basically. Oh, this is so messy. All right, so I'm just going to bring you guys a little closer just for you to see what it is that I do. Okay, so what I would normally do is I will start off with the spoolie and just brush up the hairs of my brow. And as you can see, because I've tweezed them previously, there's already a bit of a shape that is going on over here. So I just brush them up, and then what I do, it's just an extra step that I do because I've got really oily skin, so I really want to keep my brows, you know, nice and not dry, but just so that the liner sits properly. I go in with a bit of powder just to remove like the excess oil and whatever, and then I go back in with my spoolie just one more time to just brush those up before I go in with my liner. Guys, also just make sure that your pencil is nice and sharp so that you make as less mistakes as you possibly can. And the best way to do that is if you've got nicely sharp pencil. And then what I do is that I don't start at the beginning of the brow. I just start almost halfway through, and I just lightly highlight, like draw a line just by where I want my brow to be. So as you can see, I am following the pre-existing shape of the brow, and then I don't go and draw another line on top. Normally if I'm doing like a really quick look and I don't have the time, I'll probably do that, but because I'm already used to what I'm doing, it's easier for me to do that. I then take my pencil and I just lightly sort of fill in the brow, and I'm also making sure that I'm going in the direction in which my hairs are growing. And then when it comes to the front part, I do the same thing very lightly. So you sort of making strokes, not those strokes. So is this making sense? I then go back again in with my spoolie and I brush out what I've drawn on, and this also just helps to blend out the liner into your hairs. Making sense? And then if you're still maybe not too happy about what it looks like, you can maybe still go in a little wherever you think you need filling in and fill that in. And also just be careful that you don't go in too hard, especially when using a black liner, because personally I don't like a very dramatic brow. I want it to look done, but you also don't want it to look overdone. Right, so I've graduated from this step. What I would normally do is that with the concealer, I would go directly, because especially with this particular one, it already has like an applicator thing. I would directly, just shape and clean up my brow. But I think for the sake of tutorial, I'm going to put some on the back of my hand, like so, using a concealer brush. I'm going to dip into the concealer, and also not too much. I am going to clean up the brow. Also, just give yourself a bit of time with this. Sometimes I even hold my breath because I don't want to make a mistake. So you're just following the shape that you drew earlier. And as you can see, it's sort of taking shape. Right? And then you just blend out the excess concealer. And you just like pull it down to your lid. Makes sense. And then for the top, I don't normally do this again, but you can also, just to shape the top part of your brow, just follow. Ooh. And then just again spoolie and just brush this out. I'm going to do the other side. So same thing, brush up, and then take a bit of powder and then just brush up again, and then come in with your pencil. Cool. And one thing that you guys must remember is that they will never look the same. Like if they look the same, congratulations, but it takes a while. It takes a while. So I'm brushing them up and just blending out the liner. I need to catch my breath. And go in a little more. And then we're gonna go in with the concealer. So now that the brows are done, what I also like to do after I'm done is to go back in with some powder and just sort of set them. Or you can use like a brow gel to just keep them in place, but mine never necessarily bother me with that. And we are good to go. That is my brow tutorial. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope it was informative. It was a bit weird for me, but I hope you guys like it. And if you have any comments, any questions, please do leave them down below and let me know what you think, and maybe even share more tips if you guys have a simpler way of doing this, or you know, whatever. Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comment section, and I will see you on the next one.